We should be meeting.
Yeah, well, Bradley's not going to be able to make it, I think, today. I think he's on his way to Lisbon. But we could do a good intro question. Does anyone have one? Does anyone have an intro question they want to throw out?
Hello, Nugan. Let's think on something cool. Favorite food?
Ooh.
I was thinking the same.
Well, then that's unanimous. I'm so hungry right now. Sam, you have to start though. You came up with the question. What's your favorite food?
I like paleo bowls. It is I lost one teeth this week eating one of them, but I still like them. I will show them, but none are left. So.
And do you have any? I forgot. It's opening question and then any agenda topics you want to make sure you're covered.
I can only show an empty box. I cannot show it. It is a kind of. Do you know in Harry Potter that they put all of a lot of things in just one bar and it has multiple flavors? It's like a bar of multiple flavors, and you take one and you eat it, and it's like cocoa, and it's cocoa actually. You eat another one, it's coffee.
Yes, I remember that.
That's the idea, and I just ate all of them, and with one of them they are a little bit hard. I lost one teeth. And agenda topic, bonding curve. Let's talk about the bonding curve, and if we can dedicate like time to watch through it today, even after the call, way better. I pass it to Paula.
Yeah, favorite food? I don't know, I'm starting to like really to eat this cheese made for snacks, like before meals. I eat it a lot, so yeah. And agenda topics, I like to discuss about the augmented bonding curve and things to do regarding that. So yeah, I'll pass it to Septimus.
Thanks, Pablo. Yeah, my favorite food is smoothies. Like I'm testing them since Give It House, and I eat them every day now. Yeah, they're my favorite. And for agenda topics, I do not have any, but I like to sing with you guys. I'll pass it to Nagin.
Yeah, well, favorite food. It's hard. I like a lot of different food. I'd have to say, if I choose one thing, it'd be just like good ham. I love some good Serrano ham. It's just, and yeah, and agenda topics just sync up and see how everything's going. And I'll pass to Chewy.
Thanks, Nagan. I've had a lot of favorite food during my life, but the past years I've been really, really digging this thing called tlayuda, which is typical of southern Mexico. And it's like a Mexican version of a pizza. It's like a giant corn tortilla, but instead of tomato sauce, it has beans, and they just put a lot of meat and vegetables on it, and some string cheese over everything. So yeah, and it's crunchy. They put it in the fire and make it crunchy. So yes. And agenda topics, yeah, I was gonna ask some questions about the bonding curve, but probably Sam is gonna bring it up anyway. So that's it for me. I'll pass it to Griff.
My mom's lasagna is my favorite food, hands down. Can't beat that. If I had to venture away from that, man, I've been really enjoying just like avocados with salt and maybe like some chili oil or some extra like kick, something else with it, but just like cutting an avocado and then putting some salt and a little flavor on it is just like, I just eat that all day. So yeah, and let's get down to it. It looks like everyone wants to talk bonding curves, but maybe we'll go through. Maybe we can just do a quick status update and skip the bonding curve and get everything else out of the way and just make sure, just to check in. So like test gardens on XDAI. I do have an update on that. Gabby said that he's making the UI today and for an external gardens. And now that I think about it, actually, this is a relatively important question for you, Sam. When for people to vote in DAO voting and in conviction voting, are they going to need to stake their tokens?
No.
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 So we're doing an internal garden, not an external garden.
Wait. It's an internal garden. Yeah, at the end, including this. I mean, it was easier to do an external garden, but because you didn't like the UX of it, then we arranged
vesting tokens would have a lot of time. Will have a hard time wrapping their tokens. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was. Vesting was not so good. Totally.
Okay.
But I'm confused. Like, it doesn't affect like how conviction voting work. Like, if we don't need to stake I feel like, how do you prevent like people voting on two at the same time or stuff like this?
Because you cannot, and when you move your tokens, they are automatically unvoting the proposals.
And I could be, I don't know, farming and then voting at the same time?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
If the votes have to be in your address, the tokens have to be in your address, and with them you can do many things. But in the moment in which you are transferring them, even if it's into a contract or a staking contract, you lose your voting powers.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So good. Just I'm glad that. Okay, so that's cool. Well, Gabby is for Giveth. We're gonna play with the onboarding app, and so we're gonna launch a test gardens on XDAI. So for sure, if we can launch a test gardens on XDAI that will be hidden from the normal UI, then so can we.
That's right, because you are going to use the external token deployed on mainnet, right?
Yes.
How are you going to manage the Unipool thing?
We are adapting the Unipool contract to include vesting, basically.
That include vesting.
Well, actually, we're taking our Unipool contract and adding the on transfer function from yours. So we're taking the one that DApp node used and just adding the on transfer function.
That's fantastic. So the next step after creating the garden with the onboarding is to create a vote that changes the Unipool contract that it's installed with the new Unipool contract.
Okay.
Which is very easy because it's like they touch the hook from the token manager and attach a new hook.
It's very easy because EVM CRISPR.
Yes, it is.
That thing is the coolest fucking tool ever, man. I mean, at least for someone who ever had to deal with DAOs, Aragon DAOs before, It's just like, I can't tell you how much during this Giveth stuff and all the TEC stuff, I'm just like, oh my God, thank God for this tool,
Yeah, yes. I know. And many people is already using it.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of surprising.
I mean, I don't fully trust it 100%. You know, I feel like I need to have a test DAO and do a test vote and then like confirm not necessarily the tool, but more like our ability to use the tool correctly.
Yeah, it's something that it's important to do a simulation on what is going to happen. It is also happening to us. We created a vote and it didn't went through because we forget something, right? So this is a clear red flag that it is not finished. It should tell you that this vote is not going to pass and well, it's not going to be executable. And in order to do that, we have been doing a hard hat script that executes the vote and shows you what is going to happen. It is not ready yet for putting into the website, but it's something that it's already kind of possible to do, like execute the vote, see which is the effect, and report that to the user.
Oh, that is so cool. That would be an amazing feature. That would be an amazing feature. That's super cool. Okay. Well, but back just before we jump fully into EVM CRISPR, the gardens. So like, I know we'll be able to make a test gardens on XDAI without it destroying the gardens flow. I assume there hasn't been any progress on changing the front ends to work with XDAI, right?
I think that the plan is to move again to Rinkevi. The only thing that we cannot test on Rinkevi is to vote again, but we can vote. So what we have, the problem we have in Rinkevi is that our ACL Oracle prevents voting once it is set up, but it doesn't make any other problem, so we can just test on Rinkevi.
Well, why would we want to test on Rinkevi?
Because it's better to do the noise and the non-production things on Rinkevi, and then when we have everything prepared, we do one rehearsal in XDAI, and after that, the real thing.
So, but I still don't get because XDAI is so cheap. We could totally just deploy there and catch any issues that might come up from the differences between Rinkevi and XDAI.
Yeah, we already did a lot of test hatch tokens in XDAI, and people have a lot of those ones, and it's dirty. It's because it's dirty. It's nothing else. We don't want to create a bunch of new gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's create one and yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Less tokens and crowding everyone's address. That makes sense.
And
so then,
it's totally fine. And it must be also working in order to have something there to test. It is the way to go. Yeah, I know. Sometimes
it's okay. But I always fear the XDAI issues, like because the block times are different, things are different, you know, like. And then when Gardens is probably going to be out of sync, Rinkevi Gardens deployment might be ahead of XDAI Gardens deployment, and then you know, it's like. But I trust you. In the end, you're the one who has to deal with the crap. So it's like, what do I have to say? Okay, well that sounds good. So we'll do the test on Rinkevi, but that'll happen next week, more likely, right?
No, because we are not. Let's focus on just one thing. We still have to focus on the bonding curve. We don't have the front end prepared for anything else. So one thing after the other, and the bonding curve is taking more. We are not able to focus on it. I mean, we were working on it on Thursday, and we have been watching it, like doing some little progresses, but not really. So let's not switch to something else until we can finish this.
Yeah, for sure. And then okay, so then let's just hit all the other topics. Migration tool is done. EVM CRISPR is done. Config dashboard update. Actually, I'd be curious to hear Nuggins. Did you guys solve the issue with the advanced parameters on and getting those to work?
I have a pull request I did this morning, waiting for review from Vitor. When that goes through, it should work, because it was just some issue about at sometimes we wanted to send thousands, then just not thousands, so there was some mixing, and then suddenly it was just using enormous numbers which were breaking everything the moment you use an advanced parameter. We solved that, and once it gets in, it should work, I think.
Great.
But
So then,
the normal works. Like, without the advanced parameters, it works great, and the initial buy-in and rage quit should work after this upgrade.
that's great. So then we're still, if that problem is solved, I think we are on pace for Thursday, starting it full on. And so the November 5th deadline is real. Gotta have because the params is right on pace, which is amazing, honestly. So so next week we should we probably will have some param parties on Sunday, maybe on Friday, and then like all next week, lots of param parties. So Nugget, I know you like leading some of them, right? I'll definitely be requesting support probably in the next stewards meeting on Wednesday to like schedule a bunch of param parties. But we'll see how it goes tomorrow. So that's the config dashboard. And yeah, I think all we have left is the bonding curve. So where did you want to start, Sam? Oh, you're muted, Sam.
Sorry. The document of Sokai, I think that Paulo can share his screen because he have it loaded. And we can go through it and see what is done, what is still uncertain.
Yeah, so basically I just put a checkbox on everything. I saw that Bradley did a PR last week, changing some of the stuff that Sokai was reviewing, like for example, using a safe transfer function instead of...
Can you make your screen bigger? More? Better? Way more. Way better.
Okay, so as I was saying, basically I put a box on every little thing that Sakai was Bradley did a pull request last week, changing some of the stuff, like for example, using a safe transfer instead of transferring stock on the other way, and or for example, applying some of the nodes that he also for us. So yeah, I was doing some of the changes too, like for example, making small changes to variables or changing some of the methods, like Sakai was telling. But yeah, there are a couple of big questions I still need to figure out. How does the bonding curve do it? So I can apply the changes. But yeah, for example, one of the notes that Sakai left us on the final ones was for example, changing the mixed order, because right now, as it is, the EBC burns the tokens and then calculates the return amount. So that basically, apparently, we should do it like on the other way. But yeah, this is still things that it needs to be review and check before applying changes. But yeah, I was hoping with Sam to apply all these changes for this week. Is ready? But yeah.
What time do you? We are in the third week of a hackathon. So when do you plan to leave?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so what about this night?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The sooner the better.
Okay.
But yeah, there are still a lot of issues to solve. And yeah.
Okay.
So the plan is to hack tonight and go hard?
Yeah.
I have to say I am a bit tired, but we will give it some hours.
And then what is? And then you said, Paulo, you're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, but I'm going back to Madrid, but we can still hack online. So yeah. But it's better if we do it actually together.
Right away.
Yeah, because we are together, I think. But yeah, it's still we can do it.
What time do you leave?
5 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
So
I have dentist because of what I told you. So I think that one of the most interesting things to see is how the bonding curve is working. I think that it's something that can be interesting for everyone, and let's try to see if Sakai is right with this one. Would you like to go this path?
Yeah, that sounds good. So you mean the burning, right?
Yeah.
What we calculate the burning correctly.
I am going to share the screen and let's see what we can do. My Discord, I don't know what happens with my Discord. Wait a sec. It's taking ages. Okay.
Hey, Gabby, welcome. Oh, and we got Squidward and Jackman. Welcome to the party. We're just about to do a deep dive into the code base of the bonding curve and see if we're incorrectly calculating things.
Nice. Hi guys.
Hello guys. You should see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. So just to put in context, the bonding curve is using a power formula. So we are, well, depending on the reserve ratio, it is going to be something like this or something like this. usually it's going to be something like this, right? And as you know, the power formula, it's we need two numbers in order to define it, and in order to know which how is going to change the price based on the supply and how much tokens are bought, for example, you have to calculate the area below the curve. So let's recap a little bit. Imagine that you are in supply S with this price, and you want to buy all of these tokens. So the price is going to go up to here, and you have to buy the tokens one by one at many different prices. So what you are doing is basically to buy, to spend, let's say, for each one of those tokens, this amount of money. So the area is going to be the amount of money that you have to, the price you have to pay for buying those amount of tokens. So the formula for doing that is the integral from S to S plus K. S is the current supply, S plus K is the new supply of this formula of the power formula. So because it's a partial integral, you have to change the x for this part here minus the x for this part here, and you have to integrate. So this is why you have this n plus 1 here and here. Then you simplify and you end up having this formula here for the price. And if you isolate k, you also have this formula here for the amount of tokens based on a price or on an amount of an amount of dice that you are ready to spend. If you change the amount here, you obtain the amount of tokens that you are going to get. That's the deal. We have two formulas in order to calculate this area, and depending on what you want to know, you obtain one result or the other. So at the end, these are not the formulas that we are going to use, but they are important to have them into mind. So some of the letters that we are going to use are M and N that we already introduced. S is the token supply, P is the token price. They have their own, well, they don't have their own formulas. The formulas are for P and for K, but based on S most of the times. And we are introducing two new variables, balance pool and reserve ratio. What is balance pool? The balance pool is the amount of tokens that there are in the reserve, and they are the same as the amount of tokens that you could receive if you sell all the tokens, right? So, or if you start from 0 tokens and you buy until a certain token supply, you have to deposit into the pool something. This is going to be the area that is below the curve from 0 to the current total supply. So the formula is similar like the other one, but in that case it's very simple because we start from 0, so we are replacing x by 0 and it just cancels. So the formula is way easier. And because the price, here we can recover the formula of the price of before. We have that using this balance that it's here, plus the formula of the price, we replace some of the things, and we see that this last part here, it's just the balance, and the balance is very easy to know. You just ask to the common pool, the reserve pool, hey, how much tokens do you have? So you don't have to do this calculation here. And well, you simplify again, and these are the two formulas that you have. I don't see now which is the difference. Maybe it's because they are also simplifying this part here. So these two formulas are way better. But we still have this exponent here that we cannot calculate with solidity. So we go to the other concept that we are introducing, which is the reserve ratio, which is the pool balance divided by the market capitalization. And it's the balance divided by the price multiplied by supply. And we have already formulas for this. So these formulas cancels out very well into 1 over n plus n. That's super cool. That's what makes Bancor be what it is. Bancor bonding curves are very easy to use and very easy to calculate because of this simplification over here. We don't have to exponentiate much. We just have to replace this n by the r, as we will see now, and that's it. So in order to have more context, reserve ratio is going to be the you already may know. You have been doing param parties, and just to put in context, I don't want to over-explain it so much. The amount of tokens that there are in the sorry in the balance in relation of the market capitalization. So if you have a 10% of reserve ratio, this means that for each token that is worth $1, it's only 10 cents in the reserve ratio. The good thing about that is that we have these two formulas, and now because of this n plus 1 and 1 over n plus 1, we can replace it. This is exactly r, and this is exactly 1 over r, and they are way easy to just calculate because it's a constant. So you don't have to do weird things. And once you have these formulas here, in order to pass again into the power formula, you just say that n is usually 10, so you can have this into here. You can also isolate m, and you can have this into here. And I think that this is not that worth it. But yeah, the idea is that we could put again a formula that is a power formula into a plot and see how it works depending on these new parameters that are the reserve ratio and the balance. The balance is here, which may have more sense to make it into PS and S. This is also what you already have done in the commons configuration. So it's already there. So now that we did this walkthrough the formulas, let's see how they are implemented into the bonding curve. So probably they are going to be in Swarm. And it's calling the Aragon Black Fundraising Bancor formula y Bancor formula. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, this contract is very messy because it does all the calculations. So we have to go one thing after the other, right? It defines. This can be treated as a black box, but let's go first a little deep into it, and just to check out that everything is fine. So we have a constructor of max exponential array. I don't know what it really is. Probably right now there are better implementations of the exp formula if this is it. The two main formulas that we are going to be calling from outside is calculate per case return and calculate cell return. They are the two ones that you are asking in order to get the result. And we have here.
Can you make your screen a little bit bigger as well?
Yeah. So probably we can just go with this comment and forget about the implementation. This is not the best way to do it, but at least we will understand what's going on. So again, it's supply multiplied by 1 plus deposit amount. Let's see if we can check it out with something here. So here are the Bancor formula for both things. Here it gives you a price depending on the amount of tokens that you want to buy. So probably it's going to be like this. You are saying, okay, this is my supply. This is the connector balance. Probably it's balance, full balance. It's not clear. We will see. They use their own terminology. Connector weight, I am sure that it's the reserve ratio. Oh, shit. Oh. How are we going to do that? My computer is a bit shitty now. No, I cannot. Maybe we can do it in your computer. I can send it to you.
Are you just trying to share both screens at the same time? I mean, I just copied the. I can share screen too.
It is to having the same screen, both the slides and the code.
Oh, on the same screen?
Yeah, I think that Pablo can do it.
Okay.
Pablo's screen is not loading for me.
Your screen is still not loading. Technical problems, guys. Okay. Way better.
Better, I think. You can use my computer.
No, go ahead with that. Let's just make the screen bigger and try to decipher what Shogai was saying. But please do the code bigger, please.
Like that?
Yeah. So I think that it's the other one, the above one. The one that we were discussing, yeah, this one. So we have supply, we have deposit amount, which is probably going to be... actually, you moved the slide, and this is not the one. This is the one for the reserve rate, and this one. Okay, so this 1 plus deposit amount divided by connector balance, it's the same than K over S plus 1. This is the same thing. And everything... Wait a second.
It's not the same proportion.
We need this and this. This one? What happened?
Move the computer.
So it's saying supply times, but shouldn't it be? Is connector balance B?
It's the second one.
Okay, this is the second.
Okay, yeah.
It's the second one.
Mm.
So
And
supply times 1 plus deposit amount divided by connector balance? That doesn't seem right though, right? P divided by B is P price and B is reserve balance?
deposit amount P. Deposit amount might be the collateral that you are depositing. So it has sent that it's P in here. And this is exactly the same. Then here it's good because it's like R instead of 1 over R, like in here. And this R is divided by, let's say, the ppm. It's by 1 million because it's very high. It's coded as 1 million. I don't know how to explain that.
Parts per million. It's because decimals, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
To give
Go decimals.
Yes.
But is there is connector weight R or is connector weight 1 over R?
Connector weight is R.
Okay.
So we are here. And when we go to the other formula,
So deposit amount over connector balance is the same as P over B.
see, yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't remember P being like an amount going in, and I thought B was the reserve balance.
B is the reserve balance. This B here.
And so they call that connector balance?
Yes.
Okay.
It is terminology from Bancor. And in the other case, we are using connector balance, which is this, multiplied by, they are using a lot of minus here, which is okay, I guess. We have here a minus as well, because basically it's, if we were doing minus, then this would be a plus, so it's okay. And this here is 1 over weight, which is okay. And this is sell amount divided by supply, which is also okay. So we are following these two formulas. And these are the these are the supply, connector balance, connector weight, and sell amount. So if we go now into the common swarm, I can send it to you, into the common swarm code.
ABC.
Yeah.
This one?
Do you have it? Oh, okay. We are using these two formulas. The beneficiary, add collector, make by order, We are using it in here. Calculate sale return, and we are using it into the. we are still fucked up with the voice here. Calculate for cash return. So these values we have to take into account what are we trying. That was very difficult to spot, and I am glad that Shokai was taking a look over them, because it's kind of come on. Come on. So I don't know which of them he's trying to alert us. I think that it's when it's burning.
It's the other one, because apparently we burn the tokens and then we calculate the returned amount. You can see here. And apparently we're using a total supply that is not the correct one.
Yeah, it has.
You can go back.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. Let's check the code first. What we are burning here is the. Actually, the collateral supply is not affected by this token burning. So I'm not sure why he should.
Go back to.
Okay. The collateral supply is something else.
It's the make sell order. Burns the bond token, decreasing supply. We go here. Yeah.
Yeah, we are burning it, but how is it affecting? Because collateral supply, maybe it is in one of those lines. We are checking out the token total supply. Okay, it's here. Of course we are.
We're using another total supply. I mean, the one after.
Why is it called collateral supply?
Probably because it's virtual supply plus total supply.
Is this token the collateral? I mean, what is it about? When we are referring to the token,
No.
it's the ERC20, and then there is a collateral token.
The collaterals are stored on the mapping.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, it's the bonded token. Okay.
Which is wrapped XDAI, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. This is the bonded token, which is TSC.
Okay.
So TC is being burned, and then we get the total supply, which is bad. Well, Shokai was not sure. We are still not sure either. but it's supposed that following the formulas, let's go into the presentation. Maybe it's going to be easier this way to understand at least conceptually. You also have problems. I'm in the Pablo's computer and he's always laughing at me and I cannot use it. Okay, so let's say that we are trying to sell. We are trying to sell, so we have money. No, we have tokens. We have tokens, and we are going to. Yeah, what are we What are we putting into it? The tokens or the seller, the collateral, sell amount, and this sell amount is the amount of tokens which you are burning. Okay, so because you are burning those tokens, what you are doing is to move the token supply from S plus K into S. And this is the question. Should we put S plus K or S?
Can you go back to the code?
The code is putting S. Because we are burning it and then we request its total supply.
But one question, when you are burning, isn't it the other way around? So it's S and S minus K. So it actually start because you're moving in the other direction.
Yeah, it could be. It could
So
be.
you start with
It could be S and K is negative. Yeah, it could be. It could be that we have a K that is negative, and this is what.
Yeah, like I don't know because I've been working with the Python for the dashboard, but in the Python Jupyter Notebook and so when you were selling, you were actually just buying a negative number. So that was using it like that. So maybe here is the same.
Yeah. Okay. So if we are using S, we should not be burning yet. We calculate which is going to be the new return amount with the new whatever, and then we burn. So it will be just moving this from here into here or into here maybe.
That's what Sokai said.
I mean, it should be relatively easy to test this, right? Like, just even in an Excel spreadsheet, basically. No? I mean, at least that's how I do it because I'm an Excel person. I'm sure you guys would use Python or something smarter than that. But like, just like look at how one works and how the other works and then try to sell all of it, the total supply. And if it goes to zero, then it's right. And if it doesn't go to zero, then it's not right.
Yeah. Actually, it's doing some tests in order to see if it's consistent. We will find out if it's not consistent.
I mean, the main thing is you should be able to sell all the tokens. And if you can't sell all the tokens, or if you sell all the tokens and there's if you sell all the tokens and there's money left in the bonding curve, it didn't work. If you sell all the tokens and there's not, but then you get to the last token and you can't sell it, it didn't work. You know, and then conservation is held.
Okay, yeah, this is what we have to do. Wow, this was a very difficult one to spot.
Dude, Sokai, man. What a rock star.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think that it's fine.
I don't know how he got so lucky because he was like, I just don't want to look at the bonding curve stuff. And then he looked at the bonding curve stuff and the hatch. Like, or I mean, he didn't want to look into the bonding curve math. He straight up said that when he did. Then he dove deep into the bonding curve math and did the hatch. Talk about under promising, over delivering.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Okay. And I think that this is the most important one, but let's take a look at the others that are also.
Well, all
Yeah.
of these are important ones.
Yeah.
As well as this. Anyway.
No, but some of them are not possible, I think. For example, the instead of calling transfer, calling call, I think it's not possible. And I think that he said something regarding not call transfer. It's important because there is a book or something that I cannot recall now. But call is not available in this version of Solidity, so we will have to ask again.
Yeah, it's
This transfer cannot be. I mean, we can change it for something else, but at the end we are not using directly ETH, so even if we don't change it, we are safe. I just want to make it as I wanted.
Definitely. Hey guys, unfortunately we're at the top of the hour. I have to run. I
Okay.
don't want to stop the paired programming party. But I have to leave.
Yeah, totally. Let's keep it here, I think. We will keep talking.